Laura Vitale. On this episode of Laura in the Kitchen, I'm going to show you how to make my mother's veggie pasta bake. It is out of this world delicious, a cinch to make, and everybody loves it. And what's really great about it is that it feeds like an army. It's like one of those great comfort foods that just never go out of style. So to make this is what you're going to need. You're going to need some nice starchy pasta, some fresh spinach, some fresh zucchini chopped, some sliced mushrooms, garlic, fresh parmesan reggiano, some mozzarella. You're going to also need some bechamel sauce. Now, these ingredients are very simple. You can substitute the veggies for whatever's fresh in the market that day. It doesn't have to be these specific ingredients. This just happens to be, what I found to be fresh today. Now, my pasta, I am using, my friends at Olio To Go sent me this fabulous pasta di semola di grano duro. It's really delicious, starchy pasta, which I love for whenever I'm doing a pasta bake, because that means that the sauce is really going to adhere to the pasta instead of like separating. So this is a great pasta. So check out their website, and they have a ton to choose from, but this happens to be one of my favorites. Now also, the bechamel. Now I have an episode on laurinthekitchen.com on how to make bechamel at home. Very simple. You can go ahead and click on that recipe, check it out, print it out, make it yourself at home. A cinch to make. Now first thing you want to do is get a big pot, fill it with water, generous sprinkling of salt, and get that up to a boil for your pasta. So now we just need to head over to the stove so we can start cooking. Now I've added my pasta to the boiling water because starchy pasta does need a little bit longer to cook. And now I have a large skillet here with about a tablespoon of olive oil, preheating over medium-high heat. I've just added my garlic, and I'm just going to let the garlic cook for about a minute or so until it gets nice and fragrant. And then we'll add in our veggies. Add in our chopped zucchini and mushroom. And I'm just going to season the veggies with salt and pepper. Remember, we just want to make sure we season every element of our dish. Give this a nice stir. And this is going to cook for about 8 to 10 minutes on medium-high until the veggies start to cook down and they get a nice brown color. Now, while my veggies and my pasta cook, I'm going to grate my mozzarella. Now, as you can see, I'm using a block of mozzarella and not the fresh kind in the water. And the reason I'm doing that is because if I were to use fresh mozzarella in the water, what would happen is it's too watery and it would kind of thin out the sauce, and the whole thing would be kind of the mozzarella unevenly spread through. So this is a great way to get that meltingly gooey cheese without any excess water. Use the block of mozzarella. And I'm just going to grate this in a box grater so that I can, probably about half of this should be plenty. And then I'm also going to grate some fresh parmesan reggiano. After 8 to 10 minutes, this is what the veggies should look like, nice and brown but still with texture. I've also drained my pasta and put it back in the same pot because I wanted to get it nice and dried. I grated both my cheeses and they're on standby, and I also have my bechamel ready to go. Now, here's what we do. You take your veggies, and I'm doing this in a big pot just because it's a lot easier. You take your nice sauteed veggies, you add those in. Make sure you don't leave anything behind. Then to that, we're going to add in our fresh spinach. The reason I'm using fresh spinach and I'm not sauteing it first is because the heat of the pasta and the veggies are going to wilt them perfectly. They won't be overcooked. They'll be just wilted enough that we won't have to cook them. And I like that bit of texture, and that green sort of pops out at you. It makes everything look so deliciously fresh. So just stir those in until they're ever so slightly starting to wilt. That's about perfect. Now we're going to add some bechamel. This is the white sauce I was telling you about earlier. It's so creamy and luscious. It's going to be amazing with this when it bakes together. It's actually not even going to bake. It's going to go under the broiler just to brown the top. How awesome is that? Because everything is cooked. You don't really need to do anything else. Everything's cooked. It's warm. So we're just looking to brown that top and get those cheeses nice and melted. Now to this, I'm going to add half of my grated cheeses, reserving the remaining half for the top. Just continue to stir this until the cheeses are combined. I'm going to add some more bechamel. You're going to need about 3.5 to 4 cups total of bechamel. Putting this into my casserole dish. Just trying to level this out so that when I put my cheeses on top, they're kind of covering all over the top. Putting this aside. My remaining bechamel. Just gonna drizzle this just like so. And just sprinkle over our remaining grated cheeses. This is just, it's a definite comfort food. I definitely remember eating this a lot growing up. So it's something I'm just excited to eat. I don't eat it often because I'm the first one to admit it's not the most figure-friendly dish, but hey, once in a while a girl's gotta do what a girl's gotta do, and tonight I need some mama pasta bake. So this is gonna go under your broiler that's nice and preheated for literally just a couple minutes. So please keep your eye on it because it can go from golden to burnt within seconds. So in she goes. After just a couple minutes under the broiler, this is what it should look like. Golden, bubbly, and the cheeses are nicely melted, and I am salivating right now. Like oh goodness, this is like comfort at its very best. Just want to have a little bit right now before I eat the whole thing. And trust me, I'm capable of that. As embarrassing as that is to admit, I'll admit it. It's creamy, it's delicious, it's got a nice texture from that pasta, it's nice and starchy, cooked it perfectly, just al dente. Oh, going back in for more. That spinach is just wilted perfectly. Look at that, it's still bright green and fresh. We didn't cook the life out of it. This is so good. Well, if you guys want to feel like you're in my mother's house tonight for a little comfort, go ahead and make this recipe. And to get the recipe, you go to www.laurainthekitchen.com. I'll see you next time. Bye.